Did you just spill coffee on me? The millionaire's wife's voice sliced through the hall like a blade. Every waiter froze, every head turned. The crystal chandeliers glittered above, but the silence was sharp enough to cut through the air. The young black waitress stood still, her hands trembling, eyes calm. No one dared breathe. Everyone knew what came next. Or so they thought. But within moments, the room would witness something no one expected, a quiet woman teaching grace to those who believed they owned it. Welcome, story lovers. Where are you watching from? Hit like and drop your city name below. It was one of those nights when luxury felt like a performance. The city's elite gathered at Le Ciel d'Or, the most exclusive restaurant in town, where wealth shimmered brighter than the chandeliers. Every weekend, Eleanor Ashford's wife of the infamous millionaire Charles Ashford made her grand entrance, dressed in champagne silk and diamonds heavy enough to bend light. She ruled the dining floor like royalty. For the staff, her visits were dreaded events, each one ending with someone reduced to tears. The slightest mistake was met with ridicule, the smallest delay with humiliation. Yet none dared to speak. Her influence reached far beyond the restaurant walls. That evening, as a new waitress named Amara joined the service team, whispers followed her. She was calm, polite, and carried herself with quiet confidence. But everyone knew when Eleanor arrived. No one stayed safe for long. Dinner service had barely begun when tension filled the air. Eleanor's laughter echoed across the marble hall, sharp and commanding. She sent back a glass of wine, scolded a server for breathing too loudly, and dismissed a young hostess for mispronouncing her name. The staff moved like ghosts, silent, terrified, invisible. Amara, the new waitress, served with an elegance that almost seemed out of place. Her steps were steady, her tone gentle, her poise unshaken. But Fedor, perhaps poetic justice, had other plans. As she poured coffee at Eleanor's table, a drop splashed onto the woman's ivory dress. The room froze. Gasps rippled like waves. Eleanor's face twisted with rage. "Do you even know who I am?" Her words sliced through the silence. The manager looked ready to faint. Others averted their gaze, praying not to be next. But Amara didn't crumble. She simply met Eleanor's glare and, in perfect French, apologized with grace and composure that left the entire hall stunned. The accent was flawless, the tone sophisticated, nothing like what anyone expected from just a waitress. Eleanor blinked, thrown off balance. For the first time, her arrogance cracked. Murmurs spread among the guests. Who was this woman? And why did she seem more refined than the millionaire's wife herself? Eleanor, humiliated yet unwilling to surrender her dominance, tried to recover her power. "You think speaking French makes you special?" she hissed. But Amara only smiled, calm, almost pitying, at that moment. The restaurant's general manager entered, his expression unreadable. "Mrs. Ashford," he said quietly, "perhaps it's time we introduced our guests properly." The guests leaned in. Eleanor's color drained. The manager continued, "This isn't one of our waitresses. This is Professor Amara Williams, head of hospitality studies at the International Academy. She's been observing staff behavior tonight, including how guests treat our employees." The room erupted in murmurs. Eleanor's confidence shattered like the delicate china before her. And for once, the woman everyone feared sat speechless, powerless beneath the gaze of the woman she tried to humiliate. Dear audience, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps. When the truth settled, Eleanor excused herself in shame, leaving behind a silence thick with disbelief. Amara didn't gloat or smile. She simply thanked the staff for their service and walked out with quiet dignity. Later, the restaurant released a statement praising her for exposing the culture of fear that had long haunted their halls. For weeks, people talked about that night not for its luxury, but for its lesson. It reminded everyone that actual class has nothing to do with money and everything to do with how you treat those who serve you in a world obsessed with status. A single act of grace turned arrogance into a spectacle of its own making. So ask yourself, How do you treat the people who can't give you anything in return? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories and new videos.